shockwave. It's fight or flight. The town that dreaded sundown. You can run, you can't hide. The town that dreaded sundown. You can run, you can't hide. Standing next to you, the beasts are closing in. What should we even do, living in this house of sin? The town that dreaded sundown. You can run, you can't hide. The town that dreaded sundown. You can run, you can't hide. Sundown, you can run, you can't hide. The town that dreaded sundown. You can run, you can't hide. Like a shockwave, it's fight or flight. The town that dreaded sundown. You can run, you can't hide. The town that dreaded sundown. You can run, you can't hide. Are closing in. What should we even do, living in this house of sin? The town.
We're live. Let's do this, guys. I am bundled up in my little Godzilla blanket here. We are so cozy right now. This is gonna be a little cozy stream. So let's edit Godzilla 2000. I already took the liberty to kind of use the whole transcribe. I guess if anyone's new to these streams, what I do is I just kind of talk to you guys here in chat while I edit videos, and yeah, it's usually just a way for you guys to kind of see how I do what I do. Usually I go into Premiere and I'll sync up the audio and the video, and then I will export that as just one big file. I'll then drop it into CapCut, where I primarily edit, and then transcribe everything using this transcript feature. And I have it automatically go through, remove all the pauses, remove the hesitations, the repetitions. That way it saves me time in the final edit to where I can just sort of go boom, boom, boom. This gives me just a big bulk edit. So that's pretty much how this goes. Right now, it's looking at about 27 minutes, 40 seconds. I do need to actually plug in this so I can... something's got to be unplugged. I think it's this. There we go. I hope that didn't screw anything up. Okay. So I've got the movie that I'm kind of plugging in. Yo, thank you so much, dude. I appreciate it. Giving you a heart emoji. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So let's open this up here. I'm going to go into my hard drive. I'm going to get the Godzilla file that I need. And then we'll get editing. All right, cool. So yeah, it's been a minute since I've done a full Godzilla retrospective. It's actually been a while, but let's do this. So first, I'm going to give this a little bit more space. Good. Let me check sound on your guys' end before getting started on this. So I'm talking about there. Godzilla 2. You guys can't hear that. Speakers, is that?
1,000.
There it is. Okay, we'll lower it just a bit.
Can and
Yeah. All right, we'll lower that a bit.
will be remembered as one
I
of the
think
most
that's okay. I think
calculated
that's
corporate
solid. Okay, wonderful. I can't see chat right now, so I apologize, guys. Okay, let's read chat really quick. Have I seen Spider-Man yet? Not yet. I'm seeing it tomorrow. And then I'll do a video on it if I have enough to say. Thoughts on the Clayface movie? Very excited. Very, very excited for Clayface. Mine is Zero design looks pretty cool. I'm very excited to do a retrospective on Godzilla Final Wars. That I think I can confidently say is my favorite out of the bunch, so I'll have a lot to say on it. The Kiryu duology video is written completely. Megaguirus and GMK still need a lot of work, and Final Wars I haven't started yet, admittedly. But yeah, Godzilla 2000 is good to go. So let's get started.
Godzilla 2000 can and will be remembered as one of the most calculated corporate course corrections in modern cinematic history.
So like I said, the transcript thing kind of gives you like a good, quick little bulk edit, and then you can tighten it up from there.
For better or for worse, depending on how you look at it.
So like right there, you can kind of see the transcript feature cuts this way too quick.
How you look at it. After closing,
I like to kind of make it a little looser.
Get it. After closing,
just like that. Little edits like that. Here's what I think I should do. Let's just get some footage going. I'm going to zoom in because I don't know. Zeth, are you still in chat? If so, I'd like to know, are you at all... Did you struggle with copyright for any of these Godzilla movies, the Millennium ones? Because Showa, I was pretty good. I didn't really get any claims. Heisei, I got one claim on Biolante, and that was it. Oh, I love that shot there. That's probably the opening shot, I think. Nope. Okay, cool. Then I think what I might do is zoom out. And then let me check something here. I want to see, do I have a matte file? I usually do. Basically, if you guys don't know what I'm referencing here or what I'm talking about, usually I'll have just a black background. And what that'll do is it prevents you from being able to see me. But I don't know if I have one, so we might have to quickly go into Photoshop and make one. I don't know yet. Yeah, I'm surprised I got hit with a copyright claim for my Ultra 7 video. I was kind of shocked by that. I don't really know the reputation of Subaraya Productions when it comes to copyright. Maybe that's just the standard, but I don't know. I was kind of surprised by that. I thought I'd get a little bit of leeway. Ultra 7 Retrospective comes out on the 14th. I wanted to give channel members a little bit more time to watch it. Haha, there we go. There's a clicker thing, but that don't matter. So yeah, it comes out on August 14th. And then this video here, the Godzilla one, is going to be out on the 28th. So I'm hoping this gets done this week. That gives channel members a good while to be able to see this, be able to enjoy it before everyone else. So that's sort of my mindset behind that.
Godzilla 2000 can and will be remembered as one of
I think when I go
Remembered as
one, that's when I cut. 'Cause my God, this movie had some fantastic shots in it.
one of the most calculated corporate course corrections in modern cinematic history, for better.
Okay, I think when I say for better or for worse, we're gonna cut back to me. Reason being is I want to be able to communicate to the audience like, okay, I am on camera, because I've had some times where I've opened a video and there's like way too much of me not on camera at first, which sounds kind of egotistical, but the reason being is people will get into the video and then a lot of the second half of the video is mostly me on camera and they're kind of like, well, what the fuck? You know, like you did like a bait and switch. So I like to kind of at least lead with it to kind of go, I'm gonna flip this. Just I'm a little worried about copyright. Maybe I shouldn't be, but
Course corrections in modern cinematic history, for better or for worse, depending on how you look at it. After closing the Heisei era with the critically and commercially successful.
all right. I wish it wouldn't do that. I wish it would just open on the other side. Not that I have anything weird in my files. I just I don't know, man. Here we go. Scene packs. I should have some scene packs of Godzilla versus Destroya. If not, I'm pretty sure I have just basic Heisei Godzilla scene packs. Makes editing a breeze, and I don't have any. Wonderful. Well, I can just do this then. We'll port over. What I do actually want to port over, I found this. You guys might actually get a kick out of this, and I might even do a video on it. I found an open mat file a while back for Godzilla 1998. If you guys don't know what open mat is, it's when they filmed the movie and then it's before they put the black bars on it. So you get to see more of the frame. A lot of the time they do that for VHS releases instead of doing pan and scan. It's gorgeous. As flawed as the movie is, it's gorgeous. Let's get my little mouse tool here that I like to use. I have a tool that I use for ripping videos from YouTube, and we'll get that going because I think I'm going to need to get some scene packs at the ready. I know you guys can't see this. I have this all on my other monitor. Okay, now I'm watching a hyperscan video. Lovely. There we go. This'll work. So let me just get this all figured out here. All right, cool. Video is downloading. Okay, sweet. Yeah, so Ultra 7 comes out on the 14th, and then it's going to be a little bit more inconsistent with the uploads with the Ultra videos, just because I have a ton of different problems, or a bunch of different projects kind of in the works. So we'll kind of see what happens from there. But the Return of Ultraman video is completely written and ready to go. I just have to film it. I think... I can't remember. I think it's completely good to go. I haven't looked at the script in a minute, but... All right. This should be ready. You guys can see all my files now. That's wonderful. I don't care. Like I said, I have nothing weird in here. There's my scrapped Spirited Away video. Hello? Oh, there it is. Godzilla 2000. That might be a cool shot. I just want something kind of cool for when I'm talking about Godzilla. This'll work.
Look at it. After close.
Oh, that's a shitty edit.
Look at it. After closing the Heisei era with the critically and commercially successful Godzilla vs. Destroya in 1995.
Nah, you guys are going to be mad at me if I cut to that clip and I'm talking about Godzilla versus Destroya. I gotta actually pull up a clip from God. I forgot I actually mentioned that in the script. Now let me just kind of get the poster up too. That's something that I've noticed about Godzilla fans is they're very you you say one thing that's not like specifically exactly what they think you're saying and they will blow up on you. I've definitely noticed that over the years of making videos within this niche for sure. Like you could say, "Oh, this was the first blank to do this," and they'd be like, "Actually." It's like, I know. It's a general statement. Okay, I am scrolling through. Where are the posters? There it is. I know you guys can't see any of this. I apologize. Okay. Is it still? Oh, it's still downloading. Oh, but this is what I can show you guys at least. So this is the open mat file that I have. Where I know it gets really crazy. It's during the Manhattan scene. Yeah, here you go. It's like for this review, I'm going to be using some clips from it for sure. But it really makes you love Godzilla 98. Oh, someone sent me jewels? I don't know what jewels are. Yeah, I don't know what jewels are. I apologize. Also, it says that my there might be some buffering. I apologize with that one, guys. All right, let's get the Burning Godzilla files going. After closing the Heisei era with the critically and commercially successful Godzilla vs. Destroya in 1995, Toho had deliberately put their flagship monster on a decade-long. I want to take a page from AVGN's Godzilla video, or I guess it was Monster Madness, where he talks about the franchise going on, putting the monster into like deep freeze or something. So I think to kind of have it here would be really cool. Hiatus to clear the global marketplace for a Sony TriStar trilogy of films that would have introduced the King of the Monsters to a whole new generation of kids across the pond in America. But Roland Emmerich's. All right. So let's get some graphics going here to kind of make this more interesting to look at. We're going to start here, and we're going to have it slowly kind of zoom in just to be a little bit more interesting. Have it there. Throw in some animation. I always love this. Godzilla vs. Destroya in 1995, Toho had deliberately put their flagship monster on a. Is that a clean edit? I didn't even try to do that. That looks good. Cool. 5. Toho had deliberately put their flagship monster on a decade-long hiatus to clear the global marketplace for a Sony. Here, I think, is where I'm going to be adding in some pictures of what was supposed to be the Godzilla American movie. I'll do the Stan Winston one. And then same deal, we're just going to throw a scale effect on there. Films that would have introduced the King of the Monsters to a whole new generation of kids across the pond in a. Same sort of deal. Hit him with that. I think we'll do a slide. Actually, this may for a Sony TriStar. I like this. Well, let
For
me
a
see this.
Sony TriStar trilogy. For a so
I don't want to use the same effects, but I also don't want it to seem like a Bollywood movie.
For a Sony TriStar trilogy. America.
Nah, you don't. It doesn't need an effect going out, I think. All right, let me see chat again. Favorite Showa movie? Godzilla versus Ghidorah. Easily. Love that movie. Yeah, I love CapCut. Just being honest, I think CapCut is great. Very simple. I don't do a ton of complex edits um when I'm editing my movies. I'll use Premiere, but
Across the pond in America. But Roland Emmerich's got
we'll do a little bit of a zoom in. Actually, maybe you know what? I will actually do this.
America. But Roland Emmerich's Godzilla dropped in May.
I haven't seen Scary Movie. I don't. I think I've only seen the first one. I vaguely remember it. We're gonna use the open map version because it's awesome looking. Godzilla '98 is a gorgeous looking movie. Um, yeah, the audio is going to be in sync in the final thing. This is just kind of. I think I might be. Yeah, thank you for the jewels. Again, I don't know what the jewels are, but thank you for them. I'm assuming it's like a gift kind of thing. I don't know how live streaming works here, but yeah, you can actually see more of Godzilla too in this frame. See, I feel like you could just see more of him, which makes it. I don't know. I love that. I love the opening scene in Godzilla 2000 where he kind of peers through in the mist. Like that whole tunnel scene is just so intense. I love it. All right, I want the shot of him running out there. Yeah, like look at how much more you can actually see when it's open map like this. Such a cool shot.
But Roland Emmerich's got
We'll zoom in just a little bit.
Godzilla dropped in May 1998.
So look at how much more of the shot you can actually kind of see here. It's really cool stuff. We'll fast forward a little bit more. But this is probably my favorite way to watch Godzilla '98. I do love garlic bread. I had some this weekend. It was very good.
And immediately complicated that plan. The backlash from fans and Toho executives were severe enough for a multitude of reasons. And within 2 months of the American film's release,
Actually, this would be kind of a cool shot to end it on where it says Godzilla defeated. There we go. Okay.
for a multitude of reasons. And within 2 months of the American film's release, Toho mobilized under producer Shogo.
All right. Let's find some behind the scenes stuff now. Let me move this over here. This is Godzilla versus Destroya. Shout out Wikizilla. Love what they do. Their gallery is second to none if you want high res pictures of Godzilla stuff. It's loading forever. I went to New York in 2011 with my mom as like a kind of like a little vacation thing. I don't know. It was cool. Favorite or what movie do I think is the best Godzilla entrance? Like his first big scene in the movie. I love his entrance in Terror of Mechagodzilla. That one's awesome. I definitely prefer Godzilla versus Biollante. Here we go. Give me one more. Got to move over to Millennium. Wi-Fi's being slow right now. I think it's. Oh, I know why. Because I'm using a VPN. Hold on. Maybe that's why the stream is a bit buggy right now. I should not be using a VPN at this very moment. Good lord, I'm an idiot. I'm like, what? Why is my stream so slow? Why is this? Oh, here we go. Let me just disconnect. Speed things up tenfold. All right. Ooh, there's some pretty cool ones here that I could probably cut to. I think we should start though with the concept art. Favorite Millennium is Godzilla Final Wars. Second favorite is GMK. Not really a hot take. I know everyone kind of loves those, but mobilized under producer Shogo Tomiyama and fast-tracked a Japanese-produced reboot. The goal was the title for this retrospective, this specific one, is it's How Toho Saved Godzilla. I'm going to be renaming, or maybe it is already titled that. I don't know. But the Destroya one was titled something like How Toho Killed Godzilla. And I think it'd be fun then if the next one was How Toho Saved Godzilla or something to that effect. The Day Godzilla Finally Died. That's the title right now, but I might change that. I don't know. Man, that Godzilla vs. Destroya one really popped off. I'm just looking at the views right now. It's so weird how the Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster retrospective that I posted is one of my most popular. Like here, let me get this over here really quick. Like it's so weird to me how Mothra vs. Godzilla, that one did well, but this one just randomly popped off. I think just because the title and thumbnail did it. I don't know. But what was the I think was it the Hedorah one? They had the Hedorah one. That one kind of popped off too, and the Godzilla vs. Destroya one. But the full supercuts, I know those do really well. I know those are really popular. People love those. But yeah, I think my Terror of Mechagodzilla one was the best one I've ever made. I think it's so strong with the writing. I think it's hilarious how the Godzilla kids educational cartoon one, how that one bombed 5,000 views. It's like the lowest viewed one in the whole series. It's funny. Okay. We'll go back here. Mobilized under producer Shogo Tomiyama and fast-tracked a Japanese-produced reboot. The goal was very simple. Take the character back and save Godzilla. We're going to have a cut of him roaring right there. Ideally right at the end. We'll start it a bit quicker than that. I think we'll cut it here. Do a slow kind of fade out. It's a bit longer of a shot than I would necessarily like, so we'll mirror it and then we'll zoom it in a little bit. Save Godzilla. Godzilla is a fundamental. And there's a mistake there, so we just cut that. Godzilla. But there we go. That's the first minute. All done. I think it's a pretty solid edit. Part of me wants to zoom in. I think I'm just going to. I just get so paranoid about copyright. Like, I don't know. I'd rather have it be full screen like that than risk a claim or something. Just bought the Heisei Gamera movies on Blu-ray so you can finally watch them because I heard they're some of the best kaiju movies. Super excited for them to arrive. That's awesome. I really think you're going to enjoy them. Even Gamera the Brave, as flawed as it is, I think it's a very fun one. I dig it. Godzilla is fundamentally a physical monster. Since suit actor Haru Nakajima I don't normally use this many clips, but I'm really feeling it today. Let me move this over here because I'm pulling up from the scene packs. I don't know why, but I always like using this hillside clip. I think it's just like one of the best shots of Godzilla. There we go. Since suit actor Haru Nakajima actually, that's a puppet, and I'm talking about Haru Nakajima, so I don't want to deal with the comments, my God in heaven. Since suit actor Haru Nakajima debuted the character in 1954, the studio had used Suitmation to bring him to life. Despite the Despite the 1998 movie utilizing a ton of monster. Since suit actor Haru Nakajima debuted the character in 1954, the studio had used. I gotta say too, I cannot wait to post the supercut of all of these Godzilla retrospectives where it's like from 1954 to whenever Supernova comes out, and it's probably gonna be some like massive video. It's probably going to be like 15, 14, 16 hours long. That's going to be probably my magnum opus on the channel. Like that's going to be one where I'm like, hang it up in whatever, hang it up in the museum, hang it in the rafters. Because that's as good as we're getting on this fucking channel. Let's see, Godzilla 98 is what I was looking for. Because I want one of those behind the scenes ones where it's actually, yeah, here it is. And then we go Godzilla 2000. I think this is going to be one where I kind of zoom in and then move it over. Despite the 1998 movie utilizing a ton of practical effects, it still came off as being overly reliant on digital weightless CGI slop in the eyes of Toho. Something to kind of consider right now with that retrospective, by the way, with it being 10 hours, I think right now with all the episodes that are out now that I think about it, let's do some math really quick. Look at this. 5 hours, 4.5. That's 9.5 hours. But these two videos don't have this video, this one, this one, this one, and I don't remember if these two are included. Regardless, that right there, this is 20, 20, 20, 20. Like that puts it at least over 10 hours if you add up all these videos here. So crazy. It's 10 hours and that's maybe half of them. Because the Millennium ones are going to be longer anyways. CGI. So this one we're going to do a little zoom in. Move it over here. And then we're going to have that picture kind of on the side. Slide in. Oh, there we go. That works too. Then we'll do slide. Despite the 1998 movie utilizing a ton of practical. And then we'll do a little zoom in on this just to kind of add some visual flair. Effects. it still came off as being overly reliant on digital weightless CGI slop in the eyes of Toho. To them, it was fundamental. To them, it was a fundamental betrayal of Godzilla's cinematic lineage through and through. Screenwriters Hiroshi Kashiwabara and Wataru Mimura responded by discarding the entire Heisei continuity. I feel like I fumbled that. I know I messed up a couple points in this video, but all right, let's go back here. Let's get some concept art just to kind of hammer home the point that I'm making. Where's the one? Yeah, this one. Infinity Daniel, what's going on, man? It's slim pickings from there, Guido Goji 91, because it's what I mean. There's the Kiryu ones, 2000 and Megaguirus. Fundamental betrayal of Godzilla's cinematic lineage through and through. Screenwriters Hiroshi, but I'd probably say Tokyo SOS. Maybe. I don't know. I do love 2000 though. Hiroshi Kashiwabara. All right, here's where I show some concept art for sure. From 2000. That's pretty cool. The one thing I always kind of hate about my videos is they do tend to feel like slideshows. And Wataru Mimura responded by discarding the entire Wataru Mimura responded by discarding the entire. Perfect. I'll take a look at your email and I'll get started on that right away. Shameless plug, by the way, since this is just for context what we're talking about. Infinity Daniel in chat is referencing the fact that there is a tier for channel members. It's $50. I will make a custom video on whatever topic you desire. I get creative control over the script, and it has to be within the channel. Like you're not going to give me $50 and then say make a video about insert political topic here. Like if anything, it's more like, look, I really want you to make this video on this movie, this show, this thing, this piece of media, or just a concept, right? And I'll do it. It'll be released to the public. It will be available to channel members briefly, kind of like a members first sort of deal, and then it'll be available to the public. So yeah, $50 if you want a custom video on any topic, video essay, what have you. And yeah, I did this for Daniel in chat. I did this for him already with the problem with modern reboots, I think is what it was called. So yeah, if you want a custom video from me about any topic, my webcam, there we go. But if you want a custom video, there you go. Consider that $50. Are these old storyboards? That's pretty cool. That's sick. I mean, obviously, don't give me $50 and say do a video on GMK because it's like, well, I'm going to. That'd be a waste of money. Name makes, that's what it was. I think I titled the video "The Problem with Modern Reboots." Heisei continuity and positioning the new film as a direct sequel. It's a bit blurry. Let's clean this up just a tad. There you go. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but YouTube has a thing right now where it like automatically uses AI to upscale your videos if it deems it to be too low quality. I had some comments the other day that were like, "Did you use AI to make this?" It was one of my short films because it was a VHS thing, and they for some reason like upscaled it without me wanting them to. So, no, I didn't use AI to make that short film, but I don't know why they're doing that. It's really kind of annoying. Mimura responded by discarding the entire Heisei continuity and positioning the new. Now I get to use my favorite shot. Ishiro Honda's 1954 original. And you know what? Let's just add in the roar here. And we'll move this up. Actually, just a tad. There we go. What is it? Negative 296. Yeah, perfect. Only to Ishiro Honda's 1954 original. The clean narrative slate allowed the filmmakers to recast Godzilla as a force of nature as opposed to. Actually, the clean narrative slate. Yeah, I remember I fucked that line up. That's something I'd recommend to people that do YouTube. Edit your videos right away because you're going to remember when you messed up a line while recording. The clean narrative slate allowed the filmmakers to recast Godzilla as a force of nature, rather than the sympathetic, occasionally heroic figure that he had become in the late Showa films. The script was built to basically be the antithesis to the 1998 American. Let's see, what else can I use here? Let's find more concept art, I think. Let's use this because this is pretty cool. Occasionally, rather than. I kind of dig the Gemstone short films. Like they're fine. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of like the designs of like Megalon and Gigan. I think they're kind of lame. I don't know. The clean narrative slate allowed the filmmakers to recast Godzilla as a force of nature, rather than the sympathetic, occasionally heroic figure that he had become in the late Showa films. The script was built to. Let's clean that part up. And then I believe I have a Showa Godzilla clip somewhere in here. Let me pull that up. There we go. Yep. You know what? We'll do 68. There it is. Okay. There we go. Godzilla 68. My goat. And then we'll zoom in. Rather than the sympathetic. See, how does this rather than the sympathetic, cool, occasionally heroic figure that he had become in the late Showa films. The script was built to basically be the antithesis to the 1998 American film, where TriStar's creature retreated from artillery. The Japanese military in Godzilla 2000 explicitly notes that Godzilla always advances no matter what. Toho selected the safest, the antithesis to the 1998 American film. Where TriStar's creature retreated from artillery. I think we should reuse that clip here that I pulled up from the movie. Just a different shot. Where TriStar's creature retreated. from artillery, the Japanese military in Godzilla 2000, the Japanese military in Godzilla 2000. I'm pretty excited to revisit Final Wars. That's going to be the longest one for sure. Where is... Oh, I already used it. That's right. It's here. I want that weird CGI, or not CGI, but it's like a green screen shot of him. Where's that big zoom out? Yeah, that's a really good question. Glow in the dark. So my rule of thumb for pretty much everything when it comes to... Yeah, this shot is so weird. So my rule of thumb for copyright is I try to do a couple things to throw off the copyright bots or whatever you want to call them. I'll show you right here, actually. I zoom in. So this is zoomed out. This is actually the full frame. If you zoom in, this is fine. This could be fine, and this would definitely work, but I try to kind of make it like this so it's at least watchable. I mirror it. This shot is mirrored, so you flip it. So this is actually what the movie really looks like. And then when you mirror it, that should throw it off. And then I try to use maximum 5 seconds. Unless I have stuff popping up on screen like I do here, which that also throws it off, then you should be pretty good because then it throws off the content ID. But yeah, have stuff up on screen and then use 5 seconds at the very most. Like that should be your absolute cap. If you do that, sound is another thing. So try not, if you're doing a Godzilla video, for example, don't have the Godzilla theme. Dun, 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 dun. Like 5 seconds of that could very easily get cut. Like I could easily get picked up by the copyright bot. This is pushing it here with 6 seconds, but because it's just a roar, I think it should be okay. Something else that you can do, I've done this a couple times. You can up the saturation, kind of mess with the tint maybe, just to kind of like make it a little bit more red. Mess with the color temperature just a tad, and it looks fine. This is also mirrored, so it should avoid any copyright issues. But for the most part, though, Toho's been pretty good. Toho's been all right with claims. I haven't gotten any besides one from Godzilla versus Biollante. And from what I've heard, everyone kind of has that one issue with that one clip. It's where Godzilla's coming out of the volcano. I like the American version more. The director of Godzilla 2000 likes the American version more, which I find to be kind of interesting. Artillery, the Japanese military in Godzilla 2000 explicitly notes that Godzilla always advances no matter what. Toho selected... And then we're going to mirror this. So there we go. That's a vaguely rough way of getting around stuff. Okay, cool story about the horror of Godzilla. I'm pretty sure I can talk about this because it's fine. I don't think the guy cares. But the artist behind the horror of Godzilla emailed me and was like, here's an advanced copy. Take a look. I was going to make a video on it. Unfortunately, the only issue and the reason why I didn't was because I was moving at the time and I didn't have a setup for a lot longer than I thought I would. I didn't have Wi-Fi for a bit and I didn't have my desk yet and I didn't have my computer yet, so I just wasn't able to make a video. I still very likely will do a video on it eventually. But as of right now, it's kind of taking a back seat. But I have read it, at least the first preview issue that I was sent. Godzilla always advances no matter what. Toho selected the safest possible option to helm the film. Takao Okawara, a filmmaker whose history with the studio ran very deep, was selected to direct Godzilla 2. A film... Okawara was selected to direct Godzilla 2000. He had worked under Akira Kurosawa, Ishiro Honda. I think we should just keep showing clips from 2000 over this. Yeah, very underrated. I'm not slighting him in any way when I say he was a safe pick. My point was just that like they didn't go with a newcomer. It was more just they got the guy who had directed Godzilla stuff before and knew what the hell he was doing because the goal was to make the safest movie possible. Selected the safest possible option to helm the film. We'll cut out my weird breath there too. Tako Okawara was selected to direct Godzilla 2000. He had worked. That's weird. Toho selected the safest possible option to. I don't like that. I don't like how I say. They selected this guy. They selected him to helm the film. Tako Okawara, a filmmaker whose history with the studio ran. He had worked. Oh, ran. There it is. Very deep. He had worked under Akira Kurosawa. He had worked under. Now let's pull up a picture of the guy. Do this. Is that a high quality picture? No, we're not really. I think that's as good as we're going to get. He's an older gentleman in this picture, but it should be okay. Hey, Spire Talon, what's going on, man? Film. Tako Oko. We're going to do the exact same thing. We're just going to do a slow little kind of zoom in. I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. Tako Okawara, a film. Tako Okawara, a filmmaker. Tako Okawara. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm doing good. Been busy. Been keeping busy. I think 2000 is properly rated. I think the messaging, the political stuff is not talked about enough, which I do go over in this video. But yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of fans just kind of like it for just having a cool design, and no one really discusses it further than that. I hope this video kind of helps with that. Very deep. He had worked under Akira Kurosawa, Ishiro Honda, and even was the assistant director on Return of Godzilla in 1984. He would go on to make Godzilla vs. Mothra in 1991, Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla in 1990. Masterpiece, Godzilla vs. Destroya in 1995. Okay, I gotta look up what the hell jewels are. I don't understand. I don't understand what the hell you guys are sending me. I'm not being mean. I'm very grateful. I just don't know what the coins and jewels and what are jewels and coins on YouTube. Okay. It's a virtual digital currency that viewers buy in bundles to send interactive animations called gifts to creators during live streams. When creators receive these gifts, they earn rubies, which convert into real. So one. Okay. So, wait. Someone sent gold coins. Someone sent happy poop. Am I just unk? I don't know what the hell any. Okay. So I think that's 10 cents. 2 cents. That's fine. I just want to know what the hell I'm being sent here. I just want to make sure nothing's. Okay, so someone just sent another happy poop. Thank you, Joey Sullivan. I want to say thank you, Gaming Channel 10 Joey Sullivan 06, Guido Goji 1991. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. I just want to know what it is. I'm so unfamiliar with this stuff. It's been so long since I've streamed or anything. Godzilla 2000 would be his final franchise assignment. Okay, we're going to do another one of these again. I'm going to go here, actually. Duplicate tab. Film. What movies did I say? Mothra? I think it's Mothra, Mechagodzilla, and Destroya. I think those are the ones that we're looking for posters of. Yep. Now, this is one of my favorite editing things to do is I call it the stack. So I go here. In 1984. He would go on to make Godzilla vs. Mothra. Okay. So we make this the whole length of that, make it tiny, throw it here, add in a little animation. 5. Nope, don't want that. Hold on. In animation. He would go on to make Godzilla vs. Mothra in 1991. Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla. Yeah, there it is. All right, sorry. Let me pull chat back up. Shout out to Happy Poop. I appreciate you guys. Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2. Did I say 91? Great. Go on to make Godzilla vs. Mothra. Okay, we're going to just hard cut it. Godzilla vs. Mothra in 1991. Versus Mothra in Godzilla vs. Mothra. One. Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla in 1993. And the Cool, thanks for the catch. And I appreciate the apocalyptic masterpiece, Godzilla vs. Mothra, Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla in 1993, and the apocalyptic masterpiece, Godzilla vs. Destroyer in 1995. Godzilla 2000. All right, so here's the stack. So we go here, pull this poster up. Try to make it roughly the same size, add a little bit of a rotation. So you just kind of stack it on there. Versus Mothra, Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla in 1993, and the And then we already had this poster already in the file, so we just go boom. And there we go. Godzilla Fan 2000, thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it. Apocalyptic masterpiece, Godzilla vs. Destroyer in 1995. Yeah, there we go. And then we add some slides. And it just kind of looks cool. I don't know. It reminds me of being a kid and taking my comic books and just kind of stacking them on top of each other. I don't know. Mothra, Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla in 1993. And the apocalyptic masterpiece, Godzilla vs. Destroyer in 1995. Godzilla 2000 would be his final franchise assignment and his last feature at Toho, closing out a career that had defied Godzilla 2000 would be his... I screwed that part up. Godzilla 2000 would be his final franchise assignment and his last feature at Toho. Throughout production, Okawara's instinct was to treat giant monster films primarily as populist entertainment, and his human scenes consistently carried entertainment. I always find it fascinating to see what the kind of philosophy is with different filmmakers when they do make a giant monster movie. Entertainment. And his human... So here's another little fun trick that I like to do. Yeah, I've seen Kong Skull Island. It's really good. I think it's probably the best MonsterVerse movie, hands down. I haven't talked about this yet, actually, on the channel. Maybe now might be a good time to kind of do this, because I've had people wondering. Here's my fun little... Ooh, wait, hold on. Okay. I just want to make sure I didn't have any financial information up. Okay, we're good. Okay. People have been asking, when am I going to talk about King Kong, right? And no, Godzilla 2014 is not the best film. It's Kong Skull Island. It's easily the best. Easily the best MonsterVerse movie. So, this is sort of where we're at right now. This is the upload schedule. I've got a short film coming out in September. It was going to be August, but I want to give myself more time. Here's the thing. Here's how I'm going to kind of tackle this. So we've got the Godzilla 2000 comes out on the 28th. Mechagears is 2000. GMK 2001. So that's August 28th, September 11th, September 25th. I'm going to do Shin Godzilla in October for Halloween. And then the Kiryu duology, Final Wars, -1, -0. The reason why they're all sort of like just bam, 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 just like that one after the other, is because -0 is coming out and the YouTube algorithm is going to be juiced for Godzilla videos. So the Millennium Retrospective Era Supercut is going to be out on the 13th, and then we'll do some Ultraman, and then I want to do a Dune video, a video on It's a Wonderful Life, and then this is what January is going to look like. It's going to be some more Ultraman, kind of wrapping up the Ultraman series around February, and then we're going to go into King Kong. We're going to go Kong 33, Son of Kong, King Kong Escapes. I'm going to redo my video on it because I'm not too proud of how that one turned out from like 2 years ago. King Kong 76, King Kong Lives, King Kong 2005, Skull Island, and then the ultimate King Kong retrospective. Meantime, I'll be doing the new Empire Supernova anime trilogy. I don't want to completely just like blow my load on Godzilla retrospectives leading into Supernova. I'd like to just space those out more, no pun intended. So we're going to just start with a lot of King Kong stuff, focus more on Kong, and then we'll wrap up some of the Godzilla stuff. Reason being, too, is I want to have some retrospectives out around G-Fest. I think that'd be really neat. And then Ultimate Godzilla retrospective, and then I'm taking a bit of a hiatus from YouTube after I put out the big retrospective of Godzilla videos, just because, my God, I'm gonna want to take a breather. So I'm probably gonna slow down to like one upload a month. We'll see kind of how I'm feeling, but that's sort of the plan. So I'll cover King Kong. In the meantime, I'm gonna be doing Pacific Rim, like all these gray ones here, Space Amoeba, Frankenstein Conquers the World. You know, like all the Toho kaiju ones that you guys all want me to cover. I'm going to cover them. Don't worry. But that's definitely like I'll chip away at those for sure. Because the goal is to just like when that Ultimate Godzilla retrospective video comes out, that's just going to be a new era for the channel in a way, right? Like that's the end of this era. We'll see what happens after that. What I'm going to be making, we'll see. I might just focus on passion projects that are more like short films and stuff and not really make big retrospectives as much. Who knows? But just as full transparency, this is sort of the plan right now. Back to editing. Here's one of my trick of the trades, by the way, in case you are making a video with a lot of face cam stuff and you're like, how do I make this interesting and not lazy looking? Add in a little cut in. When you're instead of just making it like this behind the monster, let me tighten that up. Instead of it just being like this, behind the monster, that sucks. That's lazy. Do this at Toho. Throughout production, Okawara's in Toho. Throughout production, do a little cut in. It makes it interesting. If you're a viewer, you're kind of watching that and you're like, oh, I don't know. It changes shit up. I try not to make my stuff like ADHD brain rot, but a good kind of rule of thumb is 5 seconds. Have something new come up on screen 5 seconds. Even if it's just a little cut in throughout production. And if nothing's popping up, do a little zoom in. It just adds, it helps your retention. It helps keep people engaged with your video. Otherwise, it's boring. I like to kind of just embrace the old YouTube aesthetic of guy in front of camera talking. But I also think you need to at least make it at least interesting to look at. I don't know. There's a lot of reviewers that I stumble upon on YouTube where they just set up the camera, talk, and they don't do many edits. And I'm not asking for Mr. Beast. I do think, though, just doing little things can really help and make it not boring. Primarily as populist entertainment, and his human scenes consistently carried comedic subplots to balance the monster spectacle, with which a noticeable chunk of the Godzilla franchise... Oh, wait. And his human scenes consistently carried comedic subplots. There we go. Okay. Which a note. Ooh, I did a little lip smack there. I don't want that in the video. Which a noticeable. I always try. I know maybe you guys don't notice or not, but I've made a concerted effort to cut out lip smacking anytime I'm like, or if I breathe in, or if it's anything. If my chair squeaks, I get paranoid about that in videos because I'm just such a weirdo perfectionist. So I always try to not do that. I usually always have a water next to me. So I don't know. before the stream started, by the way, I filled up my water and I was like, oh, great, I'm going to have water. And then I took a sip during the stream and I realized it was like warm. It was just piss warm. And I'm like, oh, great, I forgot to turn my faucet to cold. That's great. So I just got warm water that I'm just drinking, which isn't always bad. I kind of like room temperature water when it's like middle of the night. You wake up, you're just parched and you just chug. Oh, I love room temperature water. I did do a video. I got rid of it. I did like an April Fool's thing where it was I don't think anyone ever saw it. I don't know. It was in 2024. It was like my channel had maybe 3,000, 4,000 subs and it was April Fool's video. It was Pacific Rim Uprising is the greatest kaiju movie ever made and it was just a supercut of me. It was a different video that I had made, but it's every that I did. So it was just me going, Pacific Rim Uprising. Like it just it sounds like that because it's just every inhale and exhale that I made throughout a different video, just like cut in and out. It was so funny. I took it down though because I thought it was kind of annoying. I don't know. I end up taking a lot of old videos down. I try not to now, but back then I got really self-conscious. Carried comedic subplots, which a noticeable chunk of the Godzilla franchise tended to lean to up until this point. Behind the monster performances, Godzilla franchise tended to plots, which a noticeable chunk of the Godzilla franchise tended to lean to up until. So like right here, there, instead of leaving this as a jump cut, we zoom in just a little bit. I'm going to move it over because the shot technically isn't centered. But I have a bad habit of deleting videos that are prior to the Dr. Skipper video, if that makes sense. Because I made a whole 2-3 hour long retrospective series, or just a retrospective video on Ray Harryhausen. It was every Ray Harryhausen movie, and I deleted it because I was just so ashamed of how it turned out because it was so quick. Like it was Jason and the Argonauts is this. It was directed by this guy. It was this. It was this. It was that. And that was the video. It was like 2 minutes of me covering Jason and the Argonauts, which is Harryhausen's magnum opus, I would argue. And I was like, why did you do that? Why not go into detail? Explain what works with this stuff, right? So I took it down and it's lost media because I'd never backed it up. So there's a Firewood Media Ray Harryhausen retrospective out there that is just eviscerated, gone, reduced to atoms. I will remake it eventually, though, because I do think Harryhausen deserves more attention than what I gave him in that video. Until this point, behind the monster performances were two accomplished suit actors, Tsutomu Kitagawa. Tsutomu Kitagawa took over Godzilla from Kenpachiro Satsuma. All right, so right here, we're going to throw in a clip. Also, I don't know how late I'm going to be editing. I just realized it's now 9:47. I got to be up early tomorrow, so we'll see how late I feel like editing. I kind of want to have energy when I go see Spider-Man Brand New Day after work. But we'll probably go until about 10:30, I think. Tsutomu Kitagawa took over Godzilla from Kenpachiro Satsuma. He was an accomplished gymnast and a stuntman who had joined Sonny Chiba's Japan Action Club in 1975. Kitagawa spent decades performing in Toei's Super Sentai programs, portraying Blue Flash in Flashman and Ninja Black in Kaku Ranger. Most recently, he had played Cretaceous. Now let's pull up a Cretaceous Ghidorah clip. I'm going to delete this just so that nothing bad pops up. I say that like the worst that's going to pop up is you guys see my YouTube revenue. I'm going to misspell Cretaceous because I'm a troglodyte. Oh, cool. Universal Godzilla, shout out for doing a scene pack of Cretaceous Ghidorah. My God. Favorite Gamera suit? Man, that's a really good question. I love Gamera in Gamera 2. I also love what is it called? Like Flashback Gamera? The one from Gamera 3 right at the beginning where he's all like evil looking. For sure that one's great. What else? Gamera the Brave is a little too cutesy for me. I love Showa Gamera as well, but I think Gamera from Gamera 2 because that's like the right blend of tough but cute, can fight, but is still protector of kids. It's that right balance, I think. Hentai programs portraying blue. That's a cool shot, I think, to open with. Most recently, he had played Cretaceous King Ghidorah in Rebirth of Mothra 3 in 1998. And then we will mirror this. There we go. You know what? I got a question for you guys. I've always wondered this. Let me write the poll. So second screen. Second screen is where, just explaining this in case no one knows. Second screen is where you're doing one task on one screen, and then on the other task you have something going on in the background. I second screen Wendigoon a lot. I'm going to say mainly listen to my videos. I want to know, do you guys second screen my videos? That's fine if you do. Is there a way? It's okay if you do. I'm not upset. It's more just I've always wondered this because I know when I went to G-Fest, a lot of people were like, dude, I listen to your videos while I'm at work all the time. And that kind of made me think, I'm like, oh, am I doing all these edits for nothing? Again, not bad. Like, I'm not upset at all, but I've always kind of wondered that because I know that my videos are optimal for just listening. That's totally fine. I've thought actually about paying someone to take my supercuts and remove any audio from the Toho movies and then just putting that out on Spotify. I think that might be kind of cool. And touching up the audio so it's more like a podcast. Interesting. 57% say yes. I get it. 62 now. Okay. I get it. I really do. I understand why someone would second screen my content. Because it is like, I love Wendigoon. And I understand my stuff is very much Wendigoon-esque, where it's just guy in front of camera. But I think that having stuff up on Spotify would be pretty cool. Yeah, that's Daria Romero. That's totally understandable to just kind of lock in, and then when you revisit, you thank you for revisiting my content too. I really appreciate that. Ranger. Most recently, he had played Cretaceous King Ghidorah in Rebirth of Mothra 3 in 1998. Noticeably, he didn't attempt to replicate Satsuma's slow, lumbering physicality. Instead, he brought... Let's use one of these clips that I kind of had queued up. I know my editing's definitely stepped up. Like my video on Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster is so lackluster. I think it's 90% me just talking to the camera and 10% actual content on screen. Oh, don't want to reverse. I want to mirror. I want to mirror. Birdman, I do a podcast. It's very inconsistent. But Zeth and I do the members only podcast. That wasn't my editing for Ultra 7, by the way. That was someone that I had hired. That was a freelance one. Yeah, no, I didn't edit the Ultra 7 video, which, to be completely transparent with you guys, I didn't edit the Ultraman 66 one either. I've been kind of outsourcing those since it's a bit difficult to edit them. All things considered, it's a bunch of episodes, and there's a lot to kind of pull from. Noticeably, he didn't attempt to replicate Satsuma's slow, lumbering physicality. Instead, he brought I'm going to use one of these. So this is kind of a cool feature of CapCut. By the way, I didn't take that as an insult. You're all good. I just was clarifying that I didn't edit those videos. I did edit Ultra Q, and that took me like a month to finish. And that's when I went, okay, this is not feasible. I'm better off just hiring someone to edit these for me, because editing a TV show retrospective is so difficult. Let me actually check when it comes to my content. I think I edited everything in the Godzilla retrospective series. Maybe. I need to look at this one again.
Or Godzilla movies from this period.
This looks like something I would edit. Yes, I did edit this one. I swore there was one in here that I did not edit myself, and I wasn't a fan of how it turned out, but maybe I'm just being delusional. I think it was the Hanna-Barbera one. Maybe. No, there's a Family Guy gag in here. I edited this one for sure. Oh, that's right. It was, yes, Squid Gloves edited this one. I do mention Godzilla Unborn, or sorry, Godzilla Reborn. I mentioned that for sure. Yeah, it was this one that I didn't edit, or that I paid someone else to edit, and I believe Squid Gloves edited. Yes, Squid Gloves edited this one. Yes, because I remember having him add that in. So, and then I think I took over from here. Yeah. Yes, that makes sense. Okay. I'm kind of okay on an Ebra reappraisal video. Maybe. If I do, I'll just throw it in the retrospective cut, the big super cut thing. Maybe. I think that might just be padding, but at the same time, it might be kind of worth doing, since I know that is the most controversial entry in this whole series. Who knows? I'll think about it, though, for sure. Thank you for the 10 joules. Official onion ring. Thank you. But yeah, I gotta watch Monarch Legacy of Monsters Season 2. I kind of fell by the wayside on that one.
Physicality. Instead, he brought a feral athletic quality to the character, utilizing low crouches.
So is this? Yeah, okay, this is another clip. Is the one of him where he's like shaking? Is that? Actually, this kind of shows off the feralness. What did I have to change for the copyright issues? A lot of it was the second half. Like when I talked about the love story, that all got claimed, and I don't know. It was really bizarre. It was like, oh, the first half was fine, but not the second half. I got hit hard by Subaraya, but after that, it was completely fine. It was just like a weird part in the second half.
He brought a feral athletic quality to the character, utilizing low crouches, aggressive head tilts.
So that's 5 seconds. Let me. Maybe you guys can help me out, though. Isn't there one where he's like looking and he like shakes his head, kind of like this? I genuinely don't remember. Maybe that's Megaguirus, because I know the suit's a little similar. I think it's Megaguirus when he does that kind of head tilt.
Head tilts and charging stances that gave the monster a more volatile energy.
Yeah, that's what I want. That really showcases it. I'm actually pretty sure when I was watching this movie, that was the exact time I wrote that
Low
note.
crouches, aggressive head tilts, and charging stances that gave the monster a more volatile energy.
It's a little too long to show a clip. Why not?
Energy. energy. The suit was
Oh, there's a mistake. Yeah, I bring that up in the video that they reused some of Zilla's roars.
The suit was designed and built by Shinichi Wakasa's Creature Workshop Monsters Inc. It weighed roughly.
All right, now let's find some cool behind the scenes pictures because I love this. That's cool. We're using that. Boop. Where is? Are there any of them like sculpting it? That might be one to use. Oh, that's cool. Yep, that was the one because I'm like, I swear I've seen something like that.
Wakasa's Creature Workshop Monsters Inc. It weighed roughly 100 pounds and was sealed tightly enough to cause extreme heat and suffocation, which
Let me just read chat real quick. I like Monster X's design. I think it's a pretty cool concept, you know, for a monster. I just wish that there were good figures of it. The Haya one looks pretty promising. I'm not a big Haya guy, but I might pick up the Monster X one. I don't know.
Monsters Inc. It weighed roughly 100 pounds and was sealed tightly enough to cause extreme heat and suffocation, which was common for most Godzilla suits. It required suffocation, which was common for most Godzilla.
Let's see. This picture is so cool, dude. I love this one. So much aura. My God.
Suits. It required external oxygen tubes, though, that were inserted into the neck between takes. There was one moment where the suit actor almost died. No hyperbole. Tragedy almost.
I gotta disagree with you on versus Megagearus being underrated. I'm not a big fan of it at all.
Oxygen tube.
It will not be a positive video. It's not gonna be a positive one. Just being completely honest with you.
Which was common for most Godzilla suits. It required Inc. It weighed roughly Monsters Inc. It weighed roughly 100 pounds.
Yeah, I regret buying the movie. I have the movie Monster Series Monster X, which is a mouthful. Movie Monster Series Monster X. I have that figure. It's garbage. And then I have the SH Monster Arts one, and that's garbage too. It's so like I feel like if I drop it, it's gonna just explode like a Lego set. I really wanted as a kid the OG Bandai Monster X figure because it was like 8 inches tall. It was super detailed. Never got it though. So, oh well. Maybe I'll catch it on eBay someday for a decent price.
Into the neck between takes. There was one moment where the suit actor almost died. No hyperbole. Tragedy almost happened while making this movie. During an underwater.
I think the second one is going to be a better zoom in take. Okay.
During an underwater shoot in Toho's studio water tank, a crane lowered Kitagawa into the water while his breathing apparatus detached inside the sealed suit.
Sounds like I said breeding apparatus.
Lowered Kitagawa into the water while his breathing apparatus.
Yeah, sounds like I'm saying breeding. That's great. Lovely. Fucking Wisconsin trash. Learn how to talk, you piece of shit. My God.
Sealed suit. Unable to breathe and with his vision completely obscured by the costume, Kitagawa screamed for help. The mechanical crew were unable to hear him over the machinery and continued the descent into the water, but thankfully, the safety divers that were present on set were able to extract him before the situation turned fatal.
Yo, Emmyzilla, what's going on? Love your community posts. Might sound weird to say, but your community posts always show up in my YouTube feed. And anytime you like write a review for a movie or whatever, I always read it. I don't know. It's always fun. Shakes things up from just usually going through my YouTube feed. I don't know. I dig it. That and the polls. Those are always really fun. So shout out to you. I appreciate it. It always makes me smile every time I see one of those.
Situation turned fatal. Makoto Ito portrayed Orga. Turned fatal. To extract him before the situation turned fatal. Makoto Ito.
What's the there's like a Family Guy one where it's like I could have died. It was like they like go off. Like I think it's Brian or something. I always like to use Family Guy cutaways. But yeah, I don't think
I promise I'll make it up to you tonight. We can watch any stupid movie you want.
Sorry, I've already got plans.
What do you... How?
All right, I'm locking in. Okay. Favorite movie to release this year so far? Good question. I think Obsession, number 1. Backrooms is number 2. Still haven't seen Project Hail Mary. Masters of the Universe I still have to watch. Have Fun, Don't Die I still have to watch. Those are all kind of in the queue that I gotta see. Spider-Man Brand New Day I haven't seen yet. So what I'm gonna say is Obsession for now. We'll see what changes eventually. I really still want to do my year-round wrap-up. I don't remember if I did that. Did I make that in 2020? Hold on. I can't remember. Did I make a year-end wrap-up? 7 months. So it would have been 8 months ago? I don't think I did. Yeah, shoot. I don't think I made one of those. Damn it. I'm going to start doing that more consistently. But it's like a ranking every movie I watched in 2025. You know, that'd be this one. Because I know I did for 2024. Or am I just insane? That oh yeah, here it is. This is for 2024. So I should maybe do this again because I loved making this video. It kind of bombed, but I don't really care. I think I'll do that again. I like the Showa era for sure. Nah, I'm good. I don't really want to see the 86 Transformers movie. I've seen it. I'm good. It's not that great.
For help. The mechanical crew were unable to hear him over the machine.
Pretty animation, but that's all it really has going for it.
And continued the descent. Makoto Ito portrayed Orga.
I think what we'll do is I'll just cut to a shot of Orga doing something cool. You want to make Godzilla-related videos? Any tips? Figure out what you like about your favorite Godzilla creators. Find what works for you. Find what doesn't work, and then try to be yourself. That's really for anything on YouTube. I'd say just make it your own. Like I can't make Cinemassacre's Monster Madness Godzilla-thon, right? That's my favorite Godzilla thing on YouTube, hands down. Without that series, I wouldn't be doing this, right? I couldn't make that. I'm not funny like James Rolfe. You know, like where what's the one line that he says? Where it's about like you have to be on the most intense psychedelics known to man while also being a child on candy in order to make something like Godzilla versus Gigan. Like the way he says it is just it kills me. I could never do that, right? But I can do this. And that's my advice to you. Figure out what you can do and do the best that you possibly can. If you build it, they will come. I think maybe we'll trim this down to like 5 seconds. There we go.
Makoto Ito portrayed Orga, the film's alien antagonist. A veteran of
Yeah, that LeBron video I'm so proud of. I'm very proud of the LeBron video. If I could only watch one horror movie in October, The Thing is your pick. I'd go Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. That has the most Halloween vibe, I think, of any movie out there. It just embodies it in every way imaginable. I just love that movie. Please be high res. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I didn't want to make jokes. Like the closest thing I had to a joke in that LeBron video was like as we all know, LeBron is a dad because of Space Jam 2. Not because his actual son is playing in the NBA. I just like that was the one where I'm like, okay, that's going to be the funniest joke in the whole video cuz it's still me playing it straight, but that was one I really thought about. Okay, here we go. Oh, actually shit.
the film's alien antagonist. A veteran of Toei's Metal Hero series and
So let's see. Birdman asked, plans on doing the Michael Bay Transformers films. Those are definitely of Iron Man, early 2000s stuff. I don't know. I think if I'm going to do a retrospective series, it has to be something I'm ungodly passionate about. I don't know. That's definitely something I'm kind of on. I love Transformers as a kid, but not so much anymore. So it would be kind of half baked. Let's see. I really want to do Terminator eventually. Hot take: Family Guy's overrated. It's racist and sexist. Fuck out of here. No, Family Guy is peak. It's one of the greatest cartoons known to man. Hands down. Mount Rushmore of Godzilla films. I'd go Godzilla 54, -1, Shin, Final Wars. I know Hedorah should be up there because it's my favorite, but I'm going to be a little more objective. Okay. Someone asked a question. Oh, it was you, Goji Master 54. How to not get copyright striked. I talked about that already earlier in the stream, but short version is keep your clips under 5 minutes. Zoom in like this, which I forgot to do, and mirror them, which I forgot to do. That way, it's a little harder for them to kind of catch on. Just keep it under 5 seconds. And if you can help it, be on camera, because that definitely is easier to edit. I like Malcolm in the Middle. It's pretty fun.
Antagonist. A veteran of Toei's Metal Hero series and later the Kamen Rider franchise, Ito had to convey the creature's volatile, ongoing physical mutation through movement alone. And it's very impressive work.
I'm honestly used to it with editing. I mean, look, the thing is I'm working a full-time job now. So, it wasn't like back in the day when it was 2024, 2025, like first half of 2025. I'd be up all night editing every single night. Like this was my full-time job pretty much, even though I didn't have any rent. So it was just more like, okay, I was just working to, do this. And my God, I would be up all night. I would wake up. This would be my day. I'm not even joking. When I would be doing YouTube full time, I would wake up. It would be probably 12 in the afternoon, 1 in the afternoon, 2 in the afternoon, around then. I would get up. I would have lunch, or it was breakfast, but I'd have lunch. I'd kind of play video games for a bit. I would have dinner with my family, and then after that, I would lock in. I would literally I would edit videos from like 6 p.m. until about 3 a.m. and then I would go to bed. And then it would just be rinse and repeat. Like, my social life was gone. It was nuked. Um, it was so bad. And that's why I'm glad I'm doing a 9 to 5, because I need better structure in my life. I don't think I could ever do YouTube full time, because I have severe ADHD, and I think it would just ruin me. You want to do what if and versus videos. That could be kind of fun. It's a very saturated market for sure, but bring your personality to the table, and I think you got a winning formula. Whatever magic you've got in you, use it, you know? But long story short is, yeah, I was cooked when I was doing those videos. That's why when I know you guys loved it when I was posting almost daily, like summer of 2024, but I can't do that anymore. There's no way. So Emmyzilla asks, sorry if I'm repeating this question. It's all good. I don't think anyone's asked me this yet. Have I watched Daimajin? If I didn't, so I do have Daimajin. I've referenced Daimajin a couple times in videos. I have the box set over there, and I actually made a retrospective on Daimajin. It's lost media now, like a lot of my older videos prior to Dr. Skipper, when I made that video. But when I made that Dr. Skipper video and it blew up, I'm like, okay, I'm going to just gut my channel, because I want to do these videos better, now that I actually have an audience. Because before I was just kind of making them for myself, and I was making them to make them. But then it was like, okay, people actually watch this. I need to like step up my game here, do my best. But I love Daimajin. Adore it. No, I haven't talked about Hanuman from the Thai Ultraman. I'm going to just do one big video that's like all the weird Ultraman media that's not like a mainline show. So I'll probably end up covering it in there when the time comes. All right.
Of work. He physicalized Orga as a
Let's show more Orga. I feel like a lot of my retrospectives as of late have been a bit lackluster with showing clips. A lot of that has to do with copyright, but still.
impressive work.
Oh, there we go. This is perfect. That's more what I'm looking for.
Work.
Yeah, I think you asked me about this already, man. I'm probably not going to cover the lawsuits. I'm not a legal guy, so I can give a quick rundown, but it's not going to be anything crazy.
Impressive work.
It's just something I don't feel comfortable talking about. I don't want to end up getting sued, getting something wrong. You get a fact about a movie wrong, you get a comment from some guy. But when you mess up a lawsuit coverage, it's a lot more dubious.
And it's very impressive work. He physicalized Orga as a thing coming apart at the seams, using heavy off-balance lunges and expressive upper body posturing to suggest an alien mind struggling to control a body that was fundamentally rejecting it.
Orga's so cool, dude. Oh, man. I just want more of the physicality. Yeah, like right there, that was the Zilla roar.
Special effects director Kenji Suzuki replaced Heisei.
Yeah, I actually bring that up in the video about there not being a new Orga figure or anything. I do have mine that I bought off eBay a while back. He's somewhere in the shelf, but yeah, no. Yeah, they very clearly are using Godzilla 98 roars.
Rejecting it. Special effects director Kenji Suzuki replaced Heisei-era veteran Koichi Kawakita and immediately pushed for dynamic close-quarters combat, complex camera angles, and a more realistic sense of physical scale, rather than the much-maligned beam battles of the 1990s. His first major decision, coordinated with Okawara.
I like 50-meter Godzilla more than anything. It's more personal. He sees the people. He's going after them. It's not, just this giant figure kind of just looming in the background, Like, I'll take that any day of the week. Give me a beam battle Godzilla moment. I'm pretty sure there's... Oh, it's Space Godzilla. Of course there's beams in this movie.
Scale, rather than the much maligned beam battles of the 1990s. His first major...
It'd be awesome to see a series on M. Night Shyamalan movies with how hit and miss they are. That would be interesting. Because I know I've only seen a couple of them. I still haven't seen The Sixth Sense, which is I know it's like his biggest movie, but I haven't seen Sixth Sense. I've seen Signs, but I haven't seen... Oh my god, what is it? The one with Bruce Willis. Is it Unbreakable? Is that what it's called? I don't know, but the one that's like in the same universe as Split. But Signs, I like Signs. I think Signs is a really fun movie. I like Mel Gibson though, so that's why.
And beam battles of the 1990s. His first major decision, coordinated with Okawara, was scaling Godzilla down from his Heisei height.
Who asked me about this? Was it Goji Master? Here we go. I'm talking about the size right now.
Of 100 meters to 55 meters. At 100 meters, human structure... At 100 meters...
Now, you guys help me out here. He was 100 meters in Godzilla versus Space Godzilla, right? I can't recall off the top of my head. I feel like he was huge in that movie. Yeah, okay, cool.
At 100 meters, human structures read as irrelevant, but at 55 meters...
Oh, I don't know why I keep doing this, because it's just here. Favorite horror movie, The Void. And if you love John Carpenter's The Thing, watch The Void. The Void is incredible. It's body horror in the same vein as The Thing. So good. I'm doing a video on it for Halloween once we hit October, because it's incredible. It's one of my all-time favorites. I think it is my favorite horror movie ever. Signs and Unbreakable. Yeah, see, I gotta watch Unbreakable. I haven't seen... I mean, I know elements of it. I don't know what the twist is. I can't remember off the top of my head, but... You know what? I like this shot. This one
read as irrelevant, but at 55 meters... Godzilla enters the direct sightlines of the people around him. Suzuki's effect strategy relied on a hybrid of suitmation and emerging digital tools. The film used approximately 400 to 500 visual effects shots and leaned heavily on chroma key compositing to place the physical suit performer directly into footage of real Japanese coastal towns and city streets, as opposed to relying solely on miniature environments. Godzilla 2000.
Let's pull up a good example of that right here. We're also going to do a little bit of a zoom in on me just so it's a little bit less boring. All right, where's a good example of like a coastal Godzilla shot? I know this one during the day he had a lot. And this is the one shot. I already pulled this one up. Let's cut this one down just a little bit. Mirror it, and then we got to move it back because I forgot about that.
Godzilla 2000. Environments. Godzilla 2000 also featured the first fully computer-generated shot of Godzilla in a domestic Japanese production. Orga's design carried a... All
right, now I got to remember where that one god-awful CGI shot of Godzilla is. Is it here? No. I feel like I just saw it. Favorite for me is Godzilla versus Hedorah. Also, no, I haven't made a video on all the suit actors. I think it's sufficient with the way I'm kind of covering this, where each suit actor kind of gets their flowers from me. There you are. That is a rough looking shot. Kind of looks like that one Jim Carrey fish thing that they did as like a screen test, if you guys know what I'm talking about.
Orga's design carried a layer of meta commentary that was entirely intentional. In the film's story, an ancient alien... Orga's design carried a layer of meta...
There we go, okay.
Orga's design...
So I'm going to kind of give some YouTube commentary, meta stuff, just to kind of explain why I'm not going to do a video on all the suit actors. YouTube is really weird with videos now, where when you put out a video, what matters is runtime. That's the new meta right now. Before it was like put out one video every day and you would get juiced. You know, it was kind of like the Leafy thing, right? Like you remember Leafy when he did all the commentary, Scarce, Keemstar, where it was like daily videos, sometimes 2 videos a day, 3 videos a day. You know, that was the meta for a while, where it was just didn't matter. You'd be good there. But now it really seems like YouTube is more invested in channels that are posting longer and longer videos. I don't know if I could even make an 8-minute video talking about the Godzilla suit actors, because a lot of it's just kind of like They did this one. They did that. They did a good job. Here's this. Whereas with this, I can make that video and it's within a supercut of all my retrospectives because I'm kind of covering everything. The same goes for if I were to do a Terminator retrospective or Nart Dog, as you mentioned, with the Evil Dead trilogy. I'm going to do that probably, but I already covered Evil Dead actually on the channel, but I didn't do it in a way that YouTube liked back in the day, so they didn't get all that much attention. So let me find it. So Evil Dead, yeah, right here. I covered Evil Dead 1, Evil Dead 2, 3 years ago. My God. You guys ready for some classic Firewood media? Classic Firewood media. Here we go. This is OG, what 2022. Here we go. Is it going to be really quiet?
The Evil Dead is a supernatural splatter flick directed by Sam Raimi. The film stars Bruce Campbell as Ash Williams. Raimi and Campbell had been friends since high school and made a lot of amateur Super 8 films together, with 1988's It's Murder being the first feature film by Sam Raimi. However, The Evil Dead is much more well known for really being the film that kickstarted Raimi and Campbell's careers in the film industry. The film follows...
It just, to me, feels like someone presenting this to the class of, like, here's my book report on The Evil Dead. It was directed by Sam Raimi, and it stars Bruce Campbell as Ash Williams. They made this movie, and then this one became more well known. Like, I don't know. It does its job. It's very reliant on footage, which is why they all got claimed. But it's still so funny to me. So sorry, to answer your question though, those videos didn't do well because they were like 3 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. But when you do something like the big supercut video that's an hour plus, that gets YouTube happy. That makes them really happy. So, point being is, when I cover Evil Dead, it's probably going to be just one big video. It's why I don't do videos like this anymore where I talk about Spider-Man 2. Instead, I think I'm going to make a whole video on Spider-Man, right? That'd be the way to do it now. It's just my videos tend to bomb when they're not longer than 22 minutes plus. I don't know. I don't know why that is, but... So to answer your question, I'm definitely going to do an Evil Dead video eventually. It would just be a big supercut. I'm probably going to wait until Evil Dead Burn is out on digital. I have to watch that still. I will add that scene where he comes out of the water, because I know I brought that up in the actual video, I'm pretty sure. Someone said, you get me through work every single day, damn near. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you for watching my videos. I'm glad I can help in what little way I can. I know that I love watching YouTube, or listening to it, I should say, while I'm working my 9 to 5. Red Cow Arcade is probably my favorite to listen to while I'm working. Red Letter Media, sometimes they're a bit too reliant on having visual gags, so it becomes a bit difficult to kind of see what's going on. Turkey Tom, Wendigoon, Creepcast, sometimes Papa Meat. But yeah, those are just sort of my go-tos for when I'm at work.
Orga's design carried a layer of meta-commentary that was entirely intentional. In the film's story, an ancient alien spacecraft dormant at the bottom of the Japan Trench.
You know what? I'm going to cut this, and I think I even made a note to myself to cut that, because I already did a plot summary later, and it would be redundant.
Identifies a It scans Godzilla, identifies a hyper-regenerative genetic compound labeled
I think I even,
G1,
give up
and
here.
attempts to clone him. The alien genome proves to be...
Yeah, I literally do 2 whole plot summaries in this fucking video. And we don't need that.
It scans Godzilla. The alien genome proves to be... Entity collapses into a lumbering... Model maker Shinichi Orga was physically modeled after Patrick Tatopoulos' 1998...
Yeah, so we don't need any of that stuff. We just cut that.
Intentional. Orga was physically modeled after Patrick Tatopoulos' 1998 American...
Is there concept art of Orga where he really looks like Zilla? There's gotta be. That looks kind of close. That looks pretty damn close. Hey, yo, why has he got a pecker? What's up with that? Why has he got a pecker? I don't want to see that. Hey, how's it going? Greetings from Peru. Thank you so much. The goat. Where is... There it is.
Intentional. Orga was physically modeled.
Yeah, it's like they really didn't know what to do with Orga at first, so they were kind of just throwing everything at the wall to see what sticks. I kind of was referring to it as both. I cut that whole part just because I was kind of summarizing the plot, and then I'm going to summarize it later anyways. But yeah, I explained that in the English dub they kind of cut around and they changed the names and whatnot.
Intentional. Orga was physically modeled after Patrick Tatopoulos' 1998 American Godzilla design.
Actually, wouldn't it be better if I do this? Yeah. Then I show the Patrick Tatopoulos design. Hold on, let me go here. Monsters. Okay. Hey, say other. Oh, Hollywood. That's where it would be. God damn it. I haven't seen that video where Godzilla 2000 plays soccer. I should probably include that somewhere in this video, shouldn't I? I'm taking that. I'm using that in the video. I'm going to mute it just in case I get claimed. Good stuff. We're using that. Woo! Almost unplugged the mic. I didn't, right? You guys can still hear him? Okay, good. I see a light. We're good. I use CapCut to edit. It's $10 a month. It's super affordable. And it's really simple while still having a lot of default things that kind of help. Like a lot of like my whooshes and shit that I use, like yeah, here, like this.
Zinc, hip,
Like that's just a built-in
and
preset.
suffocation, which was common.
Like that right there. You just lay that in there and it's all good. I prefer Gamera's Heisei era for sure. Yeah, I think anyone that says Godzilla hasn't seen the Gamera movies. Oh, I already included that. There it is.
American Godzilla design.
Feels good to be back in the swing of things, though. With video editing a Godzilla retrospective again, it's like, man, I haven't done this since forever.
88 American Godzilla. Entirely intentional. Orga was physically modeled after Patrick Tatopoulos' 1998 American Godzilla. Entirely intentional. Orga was physically modeled after.
I don't like that transition just because it kind of takes a bit too much to go in. Oh, I love Town the Dreaded Sundown. That's my favorite one to play live. Favorite song off of it came from College Radio. Easy. That one was so fun to do. Be a wipe? Maybe we could try a wipe, see how that
entirely intentional. Orga was physically modeled after Patrick Tatopoulos' 1990 design, down to the pale gray blue skin, elongated jaw.
Now let's find just some high quality stills of Orga. I like Barugan. I think Barugan. I kind of go back and forth, but I think Barugan might be my favorite. Where's a high res Orga? I mean, like that's fine. I really want it to just kind of show off the blue skin because it's hard. It looks more gray than anything, but
Line with a severe overbite, thin reptilian snout, three-toed jawline with a severe overbite.
oh, you're good for pasting it, man. I just haven't seen it. It's it's a bit busy seeing chat. Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2. Yeah, I know a lot of people kind of like dig specific movies just because it's what they grew up
Godzilla
watching.
design down to the
Okay, that one doesn't work.
Godzilla design down to the pale gray blue skin.
Goji guy, what's up, fellow CapCut chud? I literally have Premiere and I refuse to use it unless the video specifically calls for more intense edits. I don't know. I literally can't use Premiere unless it's for like a short film or something that isn't this, then I'll do that. But like
98 American Godzilla design down to the pale
let me
gray
do my
blue
funny edits like
skin,
that.
elongated jawline with a severe overbite.
The second I started using the transcript feature, I was like, no, we're going to CapCut and we're never going back because it's perfect. It's great for shorts too. I use it for editing YouTube shorts all the time. Let me get a good high res picture. There we go. Please. Oh, come on. I want a really good high res picture of Orga, please. That's good enough. There it is.
Reptilian snout. Three-toed feet. The narrative logic behind all of it mapped clearly onto what Toho's vision of what Hollywood had done was. Three-toed feet was. An outside entity had taken Godzilla's genetic material with a severe overbite, thin reptilian snout.
The evil blue purple room. I know it's a new setup. It is. I kind of like it. It is more green than purple. I don't know. It doesn't really show up that well on camera. Like the blue comes off as blue, but I promise you that is a green light. I'm thinking about, by the way, doing a new series of live streams where I watch a public domain movie, like Plan 9 from Outer Space. Night of the Living Dead would be kind of fun. Warning from Space, anything that's public domain that we won't get a copyright strike watching, that would be really fun. Maybe get some guests on, get Zeth on.
Was. An outside entity had taken Godzilla's genetic material and produced a deformed, unstable imitation.
So let's see. Let me get back to more of these clips here. It came from college radio. Yeah, Nart Dog, you were just talking about that album. The artist who made the album cover is in chat right now. That's Artem Astaroth. So shout out, legend, absolute legend. Look, as long as I don't get a copyright claim for watching it, I will 100% bring it up on stream. That would be so fun to do like a movie night with you guys and just kind of have a movie go and just shoot the shit.
An outside entity had taken Godzilla's genetic material and produced a deformed, unstable imitation that couldn't contain what it had stolen. The true Godzilla then
We're going to do this to kind of... Oh, shit. I need to go to bed soon. My God, it's almost 11. I'll try to finish up the plot summary segment, and then I think I'll pause it there.
that couldn't contain what it had stolen. The true Godzilla then wages a physical war against this American-styled clone. Orga's defeat is the film's most viscerally satisfying sequence. Orga unhinges its jaw and begins the film's most viscerally satisfying sequence, but it also is thematically precise. When Orga unhinges its jaw and begins to swallow Godzilla whole, it is attempting total absorption, trying to fully become Godzilla by consuming him.
I'm going to say a hot take here. Someone brought this up in chat. They said, just seeing clips of Godzilla 98, I can't imagine what would have happened if Roland Emmerich did that to Gamera. I think he would have made a better Gamera movie than a Godzilla movie, because Gamera is inherently funny. It's fun. It doesn't take itself super seriously in the Showa movies. And you could have your chase scenes with the military. Have Gamera spinning in its shell and flying through the air and have the fighter jets going after it. Like, that seems like a Roland Emmerich move through and through. I think he could have made a great Gamera movie. That's my hot take, honestly.
When Orga unhinges its jaw and begins to swallow its jaw and
Yeah, I love the 98, or sorry, I love the American version. I don't care that it uses the 98 roars. I think it's great
begins
stuff.
to swallow Godzilla whole, it is attempting total absorption, trying to fully become Godzilla by consuming him entirely. And Godzilla, from inside the creature that is trying to erase him, detonates.
Yeah, there we go. Sorry for being a bit quiet here. Just kind of locked in at the minute.
He releases an atomic shockwave that destroys Orga's entire upper body. You cannot swallow Godzilla, you cannot contain him, appropriate him, or metabolitize him. You cannot. He will detonate inside. Him. He will detonate inside you. And this is what the 1998.
I don't like that line. That's kind of weird.
Him. And this is what the. Or metabolitize him. And this is what the 1998 American film found out commercially and critically. And it's what the film is saying allegorically about anyone who imagines they can reduce Godzilla or what Godzilla represents to something manageable and controllable and convenient. It was one of many slights towards the 1998 film, a common running gag where Toho poked fun at the redheaded stepchild that they eventually renamed as.
Do I have a Zilla scene pack saved somewhere? I feel like I do. Because that would make editing so much faster. I don't. Yay. All right, I'll look for another scene pack. Yeah, once we get through the plot summary, or the making of, then we're going to kind of wrap it up. There it is. Final Wars Zilla. 43 seconds of screen time. Hell yeah. And then I want to get the GMK scene. That's funny, and I'm going to use that in the video. I might have to... Yeah, shit. That's great. I'm going to have to rip GMK just for that one quick scene. Which is fine, because I have it on file, but it's just going to take a little bit here. Yeah, Katagiri is a great villain. I bring that up in this one. Wonderful stuff. While that's loading, let's go here. Final Warzilla. Full screen it.
Zilla in 2004's Godzilla Final Wars. The Orga suit was built the 1998 film, a common running gag where Toho poked fun at the redheaded stepchild that they eventually renamed as Zilla in 2004's Godzilla Final Wars.
And then we'll also pull this up.
That's what only American experts claim. But our guys here have doubts.
Okay, how do I do this again? Isn't there a thing where it's like reduce noise? Hold on.
That's what only American
attack. There have been numerous sightings in various countries.
The New York attack was Godzilla, right? That's what only American experts claim. But our guys here have doubts.
There we go. Okay. Reduce noise? I don't know. I'll just zoom in again. And we'll just go GMK, look it up, had the... I'll check chat in 1 second, guys. I just want to make sure. There it is. I can't be bothered to type out the whole thing. Cool. 7 seconds is a bit long, but I think it should be okay. It should clear it.
The New York attack was Godzilla, right? That's what only American experts claim. But our guys here have doubts.
The Orga suit was built in 2 stages to depict ongoing transformation. The Orga suit was built in...
All right. You know what? My God, am I tired. I've thought about covering the Hulk movies, but at the same time, they all kind of interlock with the MCU to a point where it's like, okay, if I cover that, I'll have to cover Avengers, and then I'll have to cover Age of Ultron, and then I'll have to cover all the other appearances that he made, and I'm like, oh, I don't know. It feels kind of like a can of worms that I really don't want to open up.
Doubts.
The Orga suit was built in 2 stages to depict ongoing transformation. Oh, sorry. Really quick. Editor Cole, have the clip of GMK where they reference Zilla, and then have the part where in Final Wars they say, I knew that tuna head wasn't up to much.
Oh, I did want that scene. Okay, great. You know what? We don't need the I knew that tuna head wasn't up to much. Yeah, I can cover Hulk 2003, but then it's like, if you want to cover everything of the Hulk, which I would want to do as like a completionist sort of thing, you'd have to go into the MCU.
The Orga suit was built in 2 stages to depict ongoing transformation. His disproportionately massive arms dragged a top-heavy frame across the terrain, contrasting with the creature's underdeveloped lower body. For the film's climactic sequence in which Orga attempts to
Let's find... Is this a shot of Orga? I want something a little higher res. That's a cool shot there. Where else can I get more Orga? Is there just not much Orga stuff? Yeah, I think it's okay. I loved it as a kid, but I wouldn't go as far as to say that I, think it's a masterpiece myself. I think it's okay. It's weird, and I like that it's weird.
His disproportionately massive arms dragged atop or body. For the film's climactic sequence in which Orga attempts to stabilize his mutation by unhinging his jaw and swallowing Godzilla whole, the team built a specialized puppet.
Where did I save that? Here it is.
Head and upper torso.
Okay, I have like a weird pause there.
And upper his jaw and swallowing Godzilla whole. The team built a specialized puppet, a neck, head, and upper torso mounted on a steel pole with no legs, controlled manually by 3 to 4 operators with distinct physical controlled manually by a pole with no legs and upper torso controlled manually by 3 to 4 operators with direct physical force applied to the jaw, throat, and head mechanisms.
There we go. Oh, I'm just speed running through this edit at this point. I just... Could I go to bed and just work on this later? Sure, but I want this stream to at least just be me editing this specific section.
Puppet, a neck, head, and upper torso body. For the film's climactic sequence, throat, and head mechanisms. TriStar acquired North American distribution rights and placed the localization under film historian and writer-producer Michael Schlesinger.
Schlesinger. I kind of fucked up that pronunciation, huh?
Schlesinger, working with editor Mike Mahoney and supervising sound director Darren Pascal. Schlesinger trimmed approximately 8 minutes from the original 107-minute Japanese print, bringing the runtime to 99 minutes. He cut the Millennium Kingdom subplot entirely on the ground. He cut the Millennium Kingdom subplot entirely on the grounds that by August 2000, the cultural anxiety around Y2K had passed, and the heavy emphasis on the term millennium would date the film before it even entered theaters.
A very good move, I would say. I agree with that completely. I think a lot of 2000s media is very severely dated by everything being 2000. Like, I love how South Park made fun of that. I think it was season 4 where every episode had 2000 in the title. It's really funny stuff.
Entered theaters. Rather than using standard non-union voice talent, Schlesinger hired professional Asian American actors and had the English dialogue rewritten in a self-aware register that paid deliberate homage to the Godzilla dubs of the 60s and 70s. The sound design was
Yeah, so here's where I talk about the TriStar stuff.
and 70s. The sound design was completely rebuilt in 5.1 surround, with original roars replacing Orga's vocalizations and Godzilla's voice supplemented with various elements from the 1998 digital sound design.
All right, let's find a roar from Godzilla 98. Kind of sync it up here. So you've got the open mat. Let's see. Oh, I know. I'm going to go right here because I know there's that shot of him roaring when he leans up against the building. Yep, good call. That was right here, right? The one where Nick's right in front of him. Yeah, there it is. And then we're going to find the one that I used earlier on where it's got the roar. I don't like reusing clips, but I mean, come on. Not that one. Hold on. Is it you? No. It wasn't that one. Oh, what one was it that I... Was it this? Yeah, that's it. Ooh, don't want to do that. Hold on.
The 1998 digital sound design. The original Japanese director reportedly preferred the American cut to his own, which, as far as I'm aware, is one of the only times that has ever happened in franchise history. Following the theatrical run, Schlesinger, Joe Dante, and John Davidson pitched a
I think this is where I'm going to just throw in the soccer clip. I think this is probably the best place to put it. I have no clue. And we'll just kind of speed it up. 4 times speed.
Preferred the American cut to his own, which, as far as I'm aware, is one of the only times that has ever happened in franchise history. Following the theatrical run, Schlesinger, Joe Dante, and John Davidson pitched a $20 million American-produced Suitmation sequel called Godzilla Reborn.
There we go.
It would have starred Bruce Campbell as a Hawaiian hotel owner and Jamie Lee Curtis as a reporter, with Godzilla fighting a volcano bat monster named Amoeba. Toho approved the script, but when Sid Ganis took over as head of production, Toho approved the... Toho...
Let me find some more... Godzilla Reborn assets. I feel like this is the only Godzilla Reborn thing, right? I feel like it was just this one logo, and then everyone else just kind of ran with this. Let's see, remove background. If I auto, well, that would be... Oh, perfect. Thank you, CapCut. Thank you, CapCut. Oh, God, I love you, CapCut.
Pitched a $20 million American-produced Suitmation sequel called Godzilla Reborn. It would have starred Bruce Campbell as a Hawaiian hotel owner and Jamie Lee Curtis as a reporter called Godzilla. The Hawaiian hotel owner and Jamie Lee Curtis.
Now let's find Bruce Campbell. Ideally, we'll go 2000s. I think that's good enough, right? I think we should be really careful here because I don't want something bad to pop up. Get my channel fucking nuked because I looked up a picture of Jamie Lee Curtis. I can just see that happening right now. My God. Okay.
Godzilla Reborn. It would have starred Bruce Campbell as Bruce Campbell as a Hawaiian hotel owner and Jamie Lee Curtis porter. Bruce Campbell as a Hawaiian hotel owner.
Try to kind of match up, but yeah, it's good enough. It ain't got to be perfect. It shows up for 4 seconds.
And Jamie Lee Curtis as a reporter, with Godzilla fighting a volcano bat monster. Godzilla Reborn. It would have started Porter, with Godzilla fighting a volcano bat monster named Niba. Toho approved the script, but when Sid Ganis took over as head of production at Columbia, he chose to prioritize Spider-Man, and the production was canceled.
I want to find that one video of that dude in a Spider-Man costume playing accordion. Yeah.
The script, but as a result, Godzilla...
Oh. Either I'm very sleep deprived or that's a funny edit. I can't tell.
As a result, Godzilla 2000 would serve as a standalone As a result, Godzilla 2000 would serve as a standalone movie outside of its ties to the original 1954 film. In fact, this new era of Godzilla, dubbed by fans as the Millennium Era, would predominantly be made up of standalone entries that exclusively serve as reboots and pseudo-sequels to the 54 film. There are some exceptions in there, like the Kiryu duology, which has a lot of ties to various Showa-era movies, and Final Wars being a complete shit show when looking at canon and continuity, but I'm getting way too ahead of myself. So without wasting any more time, this is Godzilla 2000.
There we go. Oh, okay, we're finally done with the fucking behind the scenes. I think this is one of the longest behind the scenes segments in a video that I think I've ever done. Just being completely honest. Okay, saved. Perfect. The first 11 minutes are done. Oh, one more time. I want to watch that edit.
Was canceled. As a result, Godzilla 2...
Okay, it's 11 p.m. I did not think I would be streaming for 2.5 hours tonight. I probably wasn't even going to stream. I was thinking about just going to bed because I hit the gym today and I was exhausted. So with that, I think we're going to wrap up stream there. I want to finish this up on stream, so maybe not tomorrow night, but I know maybe Wednesday. We'll see. Because I want this done by this week at least. I want this video available to channel members for like a good 3 weeks. I think that'd be kind of solid. So thank you all so much for being here, for supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. You guys mean the most. So thank you. It means a lot. Have a good night, everybody. Peace out.